This video is different than most of my usual videos, and there is a reason why. I've been working on a project, and this project is an app, as you can see over here. The app has been made for one reason. Instead of asking, how much can I get done today? I've made an app that asks, how big should today be? The app is called Reserve, and it allows you to start your day and go through your day and through your weeks, adjusting how you manage and how your energy levels are and your pacing to what's going on around you. So, I'm going to give you a quick run through of the app. You start the day here. This is the check ins section of the app. So, you start the day with a morning check in. The morning check in will ask you, did you sleep last night? You slept, barely slept, didn't sleep, you answer that in there. If you slept, it asks how your sleep quality was. You can then rate it on a scale of 1, terrible, to 5, great. This is just your opinion on your sleep. It does also track your sleep as well. It then asks what your energy level feels like now. So I can say that my sleep quality was a 3, and my energy now is a 3, which is what I put this morning. It then gives you the option to select which symptoms you have now. So I put that my pain and my sore throat were what were causing me big problems this morning. My pain was at a level 3, out of a mild 1 to 5 intense. My sore throat, which is something that's not a usual symptom but is a current thing, was at a level 2. It then asks you what your stress level now is. And I said my stress level's at a 2. I'm not that stressed. It asks you how many demanding things you have planned for the day. I have 2. So I update my morning check-in. It submits my check-in for that check-in. What it does is it allows to shape what you have for the day. So that check-in that I just did produces a capacity. The capacity here is, for me today, I'm rated at a capacity of 41. I can adjust it myself if I feel that is necessary. So if I feel that I've had days that have been a capacity of 41 before, and I feel that I can do a little bit more than that, I can bump it up to a 46. I then plan my day around that capacity. The different activities have different energy costs. So I can see how much I'm asking of myself that day. And if I've planned too much, I can cut something back. Sometimes doing less is the best plan for the day. So I can go to here and I can plan my day. And what I can do is I can choose to, let me just unskip that for today. I stream on Twitch, and it's not too heavy a task for me, but if I feel I can't do that today because it's a case of how I'm feeling and it's just going to be too much for me, I can click that task and skip it for today. Or for example, my shower, I've marked it as done because I've had a shower and got ready today. But you are able to add anytime day tasks, so I can add, for example, a short walk. And that's just something that I have to do anytime today. I'm not going to do a short walk, so I'm going to get rid of that. But you are able to add anytime tasks, so timed tasks that don't have a set time of the day. Stuff that you can do when you feel like it during the day. But then you can add a scheduled task. So what you do in this scheduled section down below here is you can click the time. For example, if I have something that's set for 11 o'clock, I click 11. I can select any task from my saved ones, or I can make a new one. So I could put dog walk, and I could set it to 4:30 p.m. And I can say that it will take me 45 minutes. And how hard is it for me? That's rated on a scale of low, medium, high, or crash risk. So different ratings of how hard it is for you have different point values. So if it's a medium task for me, I'll leave it at medium. And if it's something that I have to do just today, I'll do it once. But because it's my dog and I've got to take him out on a walk, let's do it every day. And let's add that to my calendar. Now on my calendar, there it is. At 4:30 in the afternoon, my dog walk is on there for 2 points. And that takes away from this reserve load. The reserve load is a value generated from your capacity. So my capacity being 46 gives me a reserve load of 12. And that is how I choose how many tasks I do for the day. So my dog walk costs me 3 points. My shower cost me 1 point. Skipped for today removes it from the rating, but let's say I do stream. Going to add more to my reserve load, and it tells me that I'm currently doing 5 out of my 12 points. It allows you to plan and schedule what you're doing for the rest of the day or the next day around this. That's what I like about the options. It allows me to plan events over the next week, and I can even plan things up to a year in advance as my calendar. That way, if I've got a wedding in 2 weeks, let's say on the 16th of September, I have a wedding. I could add the wedding, and I can say that, I've got to travel to the wedding, I've got to, attend the ceremony, there's an after party, all these things that I've got to attend. It's definitely a crash risk. I'd probably put the party and stuff after as separate. But you can put that it's quite a heavy task for you and add it to your calendar. I'm not, because I don't have a wedding to go to on that day. But it allows you to plan your time in the future, and then that allows you to plan what you're doing that day based on what capacity you have. In the signals section of the app, it allows you to see your pacing and your heart rate and your sleep, your steps, and it also allows you to see the weather in your location, and it allows you to see what your nightly recharge. So, starting from the top and going through this entire page, my heart rate right now is 90 beats per minute. My heart rate variability is 121. Those are just a couple small stats that are nice to have live. Then I've got my live daytime pacing. The pacing connects to the Polar 360 or a Samsung smartwatch. Currently, I'm using my Polar 360, but the Samsung smartwatch is the route that most people will be using with this app. You can use things like your heart rate variability, and your recovery data to see what's going on for you right now. Your live heart rate doesn't change your overall capacity for the day, but it keeps the size of your day separate from what's happening right now using the pacing. So when I'm overexerting myself, it'll rate it based on a deep rest, easy, hard rating for what my heart rate and pacing is at that time. And it'll show you on the Today So Far bar. Currently, I'm at a calm level. Easy now. So my rating is nothing. I'm just in the easy section. But it will tell you if you're overexerting yourself and say, take a break when you can. It helps because sometimes if you don't know that you're overexerting, you might carry on pushing without realizing. So it's just a little nudge to say, hey, take a break when you can. Because sometimes we don't know when we. The steps will sync. It hasn't right now. And there's one reason why, and that's because I've just edited the sleep and steps sections, so my steps and sleep hasn't updated yet. But the steps will tell you whether you've had a light or moderate or heavy walking level, and it will tell you how many steps you've done so far. Then, in the sleep section, it'll tell you your sleep. Currently, it's not showing my sleep in this section, but it gives you what's known as a hypnogram. A hypnogram is a graph that shows what your sleep is. So it would have the 4 different bars going across. And in each section, it will show you a little section on each level of what your sleep is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a image of that overlaying over here so you can see what that looks like. You can record your naps. So if I took a nap for 60 minutes, I can add that in. doesn't change your capacity, but it just allows the app to know you did take a nap. Because sometimes we need a nap. I'm going to be honest. Your recovery and resting heart rate isn't there because I messed with sleep data. But what it will do is it'll tell you what your sleep heart rate variability was, what your resting heart rate was, and then it will tell you what your nightly recharge. That'll give you a rating on a scale of -10 to 10. And that's how well you slept. It also tells you the weather and what the weather load on you was. So you can say that, oh, the weather load is this, the rain, the pressure, the humidity, the temperature, the wind. It all tells you this information and allows you to know whether the weather load is going to be heavy on you and whether you need to take extra caution. Because hot days, like high temperatures, can affect us. They can trigger symptoms. Cold days can trigger symptoms. And this shapes based on how previous days weather has been when you've had certain symptoms occur. You can view your trend. So 24 hours, the last day, you can view over that time what your heart rate variability was, or any metric in the app. You can view over the last week, the last 2 weeks, the last month, and the last 3 months. You can select absolutely any metric in the app. So I could pick my rain chance over the days, and then I could pick, for example, what the steps is. Obviously, steps is a small bar because I've only been using it for a day or two. But it will tell you, for example, on this day here, I did 1,699 steps and there was a 0% chance of rain. But on this day, there was a 4% chance of rain and I did 380 steps. So you can tell, okay, was it going to rain that day? Did it rain that day? And did I do this? That's just a short example. In the use section of the app, I'll blur out my name. You can edit details about yourself, email. You can turn on notifications and turn off notifications in the notifications section. You can have pacing ease off alerts, so it will tell you, oh, you're exerting, you should take a break. It can tell you a plan suggestion to skip a planned item if you're overexerting and your load has stayed high for a while. It'll remind you of your morning and evening check-in. You can have your symptoms listed in here, you can remove symptoms, and you can add your own custom symptoms. This allows you to have symptoms saved so that on your check-ins, they're listed there. You can just click which ones you've been having at the time. You can edit devices, so I've got my Polar 360 connected, and that's my location, which is blurred. I can also export or delete my account. So I can download my data, or I can delete my account by typing my password and typing delete to confirm, which I'm not going to do. Overall, the app is still a work in progress. It's in waitlist at the moment. But what the app does is it answers the question of, given how I feel today, how much should I actually try to do? Reserve is in waitlist only. It's Android only at the moment. And if you'd like to try it, please join the waitlist. The link is in the comments and the description below. Once you've done that, I will send out invite codes to people for them to test the app. If you have boom bust days and you'd love to hear about the app more, please let me know. I would love to hear about your experiences in the comments, and I would love to hear what you think this app could do with, what you think would help you in the app, and what you would like in terms of the app. So if you would like to use it and test it, let me know, sign up to the waitlist using the link, and give me some feedback in the comments. Because this is Reserve.